Okay, so today we're talking about roommates, the people who share your rent, your fridge, and occasionally your last nerve.
Yeah, they can be your built-in best friend or the reason you suddenly start Googling short-term studio apartment sublet.
We both had our fair share of them good, bad, and deeply confusing. So we figure we compare notes and maybe learn that we're not as easy to live with as we think.
Speak for yourself. I'm a dream roommate. You're the one who hates taking out the trash.
Anyway, today we'll get into the types of roommates, the classic conflicts, some truly questionable behavior we witnessed, and a little advice if you're out there hunting for one.
Or trying to survive the one you already have. Let's get into it.
Like, to start off, what is your definition of a good roommate?
Ooh. I think just someone who has the same like cleanliness and like like operational schedule as you, like someone who I think ideally like is able to clean at the same times that you want to clean at, or like if you both agree that okay we'll clean separately but we will clean the apartment, and it's just like respectful of like your space. I think is like the minimum. I think the nice to have is like you get along with them like on a personal level, and like living with them is like very like fun and you guys like hanging out all the time. But I think at the bare minimum it's like just very operationally like works with you like cleaning wise and like respect wise.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I feel like my biggest thing with roommates is actually like communication style. Like in my head, a good roommate is one who will speak actively to you about like what they want and like what they need from you as a roommate. Because I feel like, and we can get into this, but like all of the roommate situations I've been in before have been a result of like either me or them like not saying something about something that came up, and then like that's always just like because you live together and you deal with it every day.
Yeah.
Like it always spirals into something bigger. So, yeah.
Yeah. What if they're just like a egregious person though?
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I mean, we can jump into like worst roommate stories, but like it's like I as a roommate need to know like where you are at all times.
But then I think it's a question of like, okay, well, I'm not comfortable with that. And then if you reach an impasse of like, well, that's something you want from a roommate, and that's something that I'm not willing to give, then.
What is this sounding like a relationship?
It is a relationship!
That's so funny.
I feel like roommates are low-key also a relationship. Like,
wow. Big revelation. So that's like what an ideal roommate is. But what is like the worst roommate, or like your experience of a worst roommate?
yeah. Worst roommate is definitely the one junior year of college. I think it also sucked because like we were friends going into it, but I think we didn't think that much about like living styles. And like I don't know, this gets into like a whole broader context. There's like a huge backstory to this. But like we're part of the same Christian org. It was like a Korean like super conservative Christian org. And I think around my junior year is also when I started feeling iffy about it. Cause like I loved going out. I joined an eating club, which like were the people throwing parties, and like already that's kind of like not. It's frowned upon. it's really frowned upon.
And from the Christian orgs?
In the Christian org. So that was one thing, and then like I had a whole bunch of other like qualms that I was starting to have with that org, and yeah, I think like that year was also the year that I started getting really entrenched in my eating club. So I'd be like going out all the time. I'd be staying out late. I would come home pretty blasted, and like she really took personal issue with that, where she was like, oh, you're not acting very Christianly, and oh, you like didn't come home last night, like where were you? And I really felt like I was like reporting back to my mom or something. So yeah, it was like a very uncomfortable situation to be in. And then I think at one point, again, to be fair, I probably should have said something about like how that made me feel uncomfortable, but I kind of just like shut down a little bit, and I was like, I just don't really. I got like scared to talk to her every time I went home. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting.
Because then I'd be like, oh, then I have to like report everything.
Yeah.
And then like she got really upset that like I wasn't talking to her as much, and then it just like spiraled. And then I was like, oh, thank God, COVID.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Timing was great.
yeah, that timing was actually really good.
The one win of COVID.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay, so basically living with your mom,
yes, basically.
not ideal. My worst roommate story was I was in first year and I was looking for a summer internship, but I didn't find one until like maybe a month into our summer internship. So like, I think it was like close to mid to end. No, it was like end of May, and the position started in June, and it was in my college town. At which point I had already been back home, and I was living in the dorms first year, so I didn't have a place to stay. We have like this like Facebook group where we have like posts for like for roommates and apartments and stuff like that. So I just said I was like looking for like roommates. It was really last minute, so anything that's open, like I would be open to. And so I ended up finding like this is a really nice apartment complex. So I was like, oh okay, like it's kind of nice. It was like super cheap. I literally paid like $200 a month for a room.
Can you imagine?
I know. My gym costs way more than that now. 200 Canadian dollars. It was insanely cheap. And so I was like, oh, okay, you know what? Like, this is a good deal. It's a nice apartment. Like, why not? The only thing is that I was living with like 4 guys in an apartment together. But, I mean, I lived like with one girl my freshman year, and like she was like a childhood friend, so it was like fine. And, you know, we got along pretty well. So I was like, oh, how bad could this be? And I was like, for 3 months. So I was like, oh, it's fine. You know, I'm in my room, like I'm at work all the time, and like after work, like I'll just like keep to myself, and I'll be going on the weekends because I'll just go back home and stuff like that. So it won't really matter anyways. But truly, that was like the worst living situation I have ever been in, and like has traumatized me from living with men for a very, very long time, or at least like just like purely like all men.
Yeah.
But basically, no one in that apartment I think was even friends.
Oh.
It was just a bunch of strangers together. So nobody really talked to anybody. I honestly cannot even tell you if we had a group chat, which feels like the basic like fundamental coordination that you should have as roommates.
Yeah.
And in like the first 2 months, I was just basically doing like all of the cleaning for the apartment. And like to be fair, I was also like cooking the most and like, you know, just kind of in the apartment like common area the most, because everyone else pretty much just only stick in their rooms.
Yeah.
But I kept like I was constantly like taking out the trash, and the trash would build up like literally every day because there was like kind of like 5 of us and like only one big trash can. And so I got kind of annoyed by that, and by my last month I was like, okay, whatever, like I'm moving out in like 3 weeks, like I'm not gonna do this anymore. I was also just gonna be like home for a little bit, so I was like, you know, how bad could this be? I like left for home for a week, and I come back and there's literally like a pile of trash on the wall, and I was like,
do you think they didn't know where to throw it?
there's no fucking way, because it was on our floor. It wasn't like the trash chute was like really far. They just like refused to take it out because I think they were all being petty. Like I honestly don't even think this was like I don't know or don't want to do this because it was a small town. It's just like, oh, I don't want to be the one doing this. And then I think I fell into the pettiness at the end because I also refused to take it out, and I was like, you know what? Screw this. Like I'm not gonna be the one always like cleaning up for them anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. I'm also like leaving in like 2 weeks at this point. So the next 2 weeks, I basically lived in a pigsty. Like truly, every single day, a fucking new bag of trash was added to the trash wall. Like our entire apartment, like living room, which is like literally a 15 by 10 foot living room, like the entire 15-foot wall was just full of trash. We had like 15 or 20 bags of trash by the time like I like left the apartment. And it was like so gross. It smelled so disgusting. And I was like, I can't believe you guys are being so petty that like nobody's taking out the trash despite like this much built up. And I was like so annoyed after I left. And I was like, I'm never doing this again.
I wonder who ended up taking it out.
Probably like the cleaners at the end.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I didn't put it down as security deposit. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure whoever had the lease to that apartment did. We also like signed like 1 year leases, and so a lot of people will sublet their apartment in the summer. So it could also very much be whoever like was returning for the fall term would have been the one to clean it up and stuff. I don't know. Again, this was like 4 randos I didn't know. I didn't really talk to ever after that. Yeah.
Tia.
So I feel bad, but whatever.
That's so nasty.
It was so gross. It was so gross. Like, and nothing was cleaned. Ugh.
I think I would lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I'm trying to think if I had any like super messy roommates.
I think I've had my first when I was in New York in Chinese summer. I had like a separate bedroom, but like my friends were like sharing a bathroom, and like that bathroom was so fucking disgusting because no one would clean it. So bad. There was like caked on poop stains.
Ew.
Yeah, the toilet was yellow.
Ew.
Yeah,
That's so nasty.
it was unclean for 4 months.
I feel like the only thing I can think of is my freshman year. We never really cleaned the common room. But everyone was like not Asian, so we all wore our shoes in and stuff. Like I would take my shoes off for my bedroom. So it just became part of the outside to me. Our common room.
Part of the outside.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. I think my junior year we were pretty clean, but because of how old the dorm was, we had cockroaches. That sucked.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. I remember my mom came to visit once, like, to pick me up for break, and there was a cockroach, and I was so scared. And then my mom just took my slipper and was like,
How did you guys deal with it?
Honestly, I didn't even notice, because, like, they were kind of over near the window, which is where my roommate's desk was, but my desk was over here. So they didn't really impact me, per se. So, yeah, I'm sure if I was sitting over there, I would have an issue. But luckily, I was not.
Nice. Yeah, you know, I feel like bugs, I'm very, like, out of sight, out of mind. I actually don't really care all too much if they're in my apartment. I just don't want to see them.
Yeah, as long as I don't see you, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You deserve to live.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Dude, did I tell you I found a giant spider in my apartment?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, wait, I have to tell you this.
no.
Okay, so I was getting ready to meet up with a friend for dinner. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to shower before I go. So I strip, I pull back my shower curtain, and there's just a spider in my bathtub. And he's like this big, which is not that big, but I was not expecting him, okay?
Sounds
And
like
he
a
was
golf ball.
thick. Like, he was a thick boy.
Ew.
And so I was freaking out. And normally, what I would do is, like, if they're on flat surfaces, it's a bit easier to kill.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was on the part of the tub that kind of, like, curves upwards, which makes it easy to miss. And I was like, I don't want to miss this guy, and he comes crawling, like, every which way. So I was freaking out. I called my mom. I was like, oh, my God. My mom was like, I literally can't help you.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I sprayed some bleach on it, and then that didn't kill it. He like ran around a little bit, but luckily ran around and then stopped at the part that was flat. So I grabbed a giant book and I threw it on top of him.
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised you didn't just try drowning him.
Grabbing him?
Drowning.
Oh, it wasn't gonna work.
He was too big.
The angle was like not correct. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, good to you for killing it.
Dude, I was like, I'm an independent woman.
Oh my god. This is like the cabin trip where there's a giant
I know.
spider.
Okay, the most traumatic bug on that cabin trip was when we had to go unplug the lights. I don't think you went out there and saw, but there was a giant ass bug right above the outlet, and I could not. I literally could not.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it was bad.
Disgusting. Oh, and it didn't even die when you sprayed bug spray on it. Like,
Bug spray is a scam.
it is a scam.
Yeah,
It did not kill bugs.
it didn't. Even the DEET,
Yeah.
that was a scam too.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Fucking ticks.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right. Talking about disgusting things. What are the most like iconic roommate conflicts that you've experienced?
Ooh. That I've experienced?
Yeah. Some of them that we have listed out are food theft, cleanliness standards, which I think we've talked about a little bit,
Yeah.
chores and chore chart wars, guests overstaying, temperature wars. Oh my god, I had a roommate where I had the worst temperature war.
I didn't realize that was a
ever.
thing.
Yes. Oh, it was so fucking
Oh my
bad. And then
God.
other little pet peeves. But okay.
Okay.
Which one do you want to dig into first?
We can go top to bottom.
Okay.
Okay, I don't feel like I've ever experienced food theft. I have experienced, and I'll call her out, Rochelle. She left her food in the fridge for so long that it got moldy, and yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. Oh, that's so gross. I think I wouldn't. I guess it's kind of food theft, but I feel like sometimes like me or my roommates would just like take something of the others, but then we would always like replace it or just like let them know like, hey, I ate your popsicle, but I bought you a new one or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
Or just like, can I have a
fair.
popsicle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to think of my. I feel like because a lot of the petty stuff happened when I was in college, of which I think food theft would happen here and there, but like not that often. I mostly like lived with friends, so it was like okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah.
That wasn't really a thing because we just dining hall. Yeah.
We don't have dorms after first year.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. But honestly, I think it's like kind of we basically had private apartments,
Yeah.
so it was like kind of like dorms, but you would just pick your own friends and where you wanted to live and your budgets. Which in some ways was like kind of nicer because then like you can kind of pay to win. Like you don't have to be stuck in a cockroach building if you choose not to be stuck in a cockroach building.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you can be like pay more to be closer to campus, or if you didn't mind because you didn't have any
Capitalism.
classes, or like you live further. Yeah, but it was like so petty. Like the nicest building that was closest to campus was like $700 a month,
Damn.
like per person.
That's not bad.
Yeah, if you wanted a one bed, it was like 12 or 1300, which is more, but like not that bad.
That's so good.
I know.
Imagine paying $1,000
I know.
for rent.
That's crazy. I can't even get $1,000 for a room here. Like, all right, cleanliness
Goodness.
standards. Is it clean or just not visibly disgusting?
Oh. I think I've had conversations with roommates about cleanliness stuff, but no like conflicts over it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like, I don't know, Rochelle and I would just like point stuff out to each other. It's just like, oh, wash your dishes, or like, you should clean this when you clean the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's very like times where like my roommates were kind of gross. Obviously, you know, that bathroom was disgusting. Our kitchen kind of got gross by the end. This was like when I was like interning in New York, and we shared like a 2-bed together with 4 people, which is a lot.
Oh, that is a lot.
Yeah, 2 guys living in the living room.
Yeah.
Not ideal. But I had the master, so I was like fine with it. And then obviously the trash story. I honestly can't remember who I lived with in 3rd year. Where was I? I was in exchange, interned. And then in the summer, oh my god, that's the summer I lived with this woman that I hated. Okay, I'm skipping into temperature wars, but effectively, we lived in like this like really nice like apartment building that was very close to the campus, and I had school summer that term, and so it was like pretty hot for me. And because I lived in a room with like no windows, it was just like a sliding door. It was really fucking hot for me because I had like no ventilation, and so I would ask that like the apartment be kept at like 72, maybe like 70, like truly like 68 would be ideal for me because like it was so stuffy in there, and so I was like literally dying of heat. But she liked the apartment at 78, which was very fucking warm because she was really cold. Because oh no, this must have been a winter term, I think. Because I remember she was complaining it was really cold because the window was right there, and so she was like freezing. And so every time I would turn down, like we literally just like turned up and turned down the thermostat without really talking to each other. And like she really like she was just like this random girl that I met on Facebook, so I don't really know her that well. And it was just like, yeah, oh my gosh, this was like fall, winter, I think, of like my senior year. No, fourth year or something like that. And we basically just got into like a fight that escalated to a point where she was just like, okay, so what do we do? Should we just like change rooms then? Because I think I also just like ran a bit hot and she like, ran a bit cold, and so it just like made it really hard. She was like, yeah, I was like, I'm like stuffing myself in like blankets all the time and stuff like that, and it's so cold, and like we're literally wearing my jacket indoors. I'm like, I'm literally in a dress and I have no more clothes I can strip off of myself right now. Like I would literally be butt naked, and I sleep butt naked already, but it's still really fucking hot.
Interesting.
And so I think like by the time she proposed changing rooms, there's like 2 weeks left. Like, I'm not changing your rooms for 2 weeks left. Like, can we just agree to keep it at like 72? And she's like, fine. Like, it's still like really cold for her allegedly, but I was like, I feel like 72 is like a very reasonable temperature.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially because like I was in a room with like no ventilation. Like I was so fucking hot all the time. But that was like such a big fight. I was like so annoyed.
It's probably a combination of just like body temp plus like window versus no ventilation.
Yeah.
I think just compounded.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had temp issues
Yeah.
with roommates. Also, because like, I don't know, all of the, at least for school, it's like you're kind of just there when it's cold, and then the heat was centrally done. So we actually didn't really have much control over that. Sometimes it would get so hot that we have to crack a window open in the middle of winter. That was crazy.
That's crazy.
But
Understandable though. I feel like it's really stuffy.
yeah,
And it gets hot because it gets stuffy.
it was rough.
Yeah. Okay, what about guests overstaying?
Ooh. I feel like I've had surprise guests. Because this is also probably a me being neurotic thing, but I do like to know whenever you have people over, so that like if I'm going home, I can just like steel myself versus just like, you know. So I've had roommates who've brought like people over, and I just like find out when I get home.
Yeah.
But I think my roommates have all been pretty good about like not having guests like overnight or something without giving me a heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. When I was in second year, I lived with 4 other friends. It was like a mix of like men and women, but they were like all like from my high school. And so the problem was like 2 of them were dating seriously at that point in time. Was it 2? Yeah, 2 of them. And so, no, maybe even like, I guess I was as well. But basically the 2 guys, their girlfriends were over. I don't even know, one guy, his girlfriend was over all the time. And then one of the other girls, her boyfriend would be here and there. One of the other girls would also like bring like her man back, and so like our apartment would get so crowded. And then one of the guys started dating this girl, yes, and then he brought her back too. Oh my god, it would be so crowded because we have like, it's like a 5-bedroom apartment, so it's like decently large, but like living area is like not that huge, and there'd be like literally 8 of us in there like at points in time. I was like, dude, this is like suffocating. Like I was in a relationship, but we were long distance, and so he didn't really like visit all too often. But that was like kind of annoying, but not as bad as like my other friend who like I actually met with like Vanessa and like that group, like Teresa and them. So they live in an apartment together, and all of them have boyfriends. Every single one of the girls. So they had like 10 people living in a bedroom, like apartment for 5, and it was like so insufferable. And they were like literally start like, I think like, I don't know, like charging like the boyfriends for like stuff like that. It was honestly like fair. Like they were like basically living in their apartment at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Rochelle and I moved in together, we signed a roommate contract.
Oh wow.
Oh yes. I strongly believe in the roommate contract.
Wow.
I think it helps sort out a lot of like disagreements and also like lay out ground rules.
Yeah.
But part of our roommate contract is that if and when we got cuffed, like our partners could not be over more than like a certain percentage of time. So
that is smart.
we really thought ahead on that one.
Yeah. Can you imagine? What if like Rochelle like just brought her boyfriend over all the time?
Yeah, that would be a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. That's such a smart idea, but I don't think I've ever like really signed a roommate contract. Mostly because I'm like, oh, I feel like to some extent, like you need to be close enough to do something like that. Otherwise, they're just like, this bitch is crazy.
Awkward, yeah. Yeah, I think it was also a result of like Rochelle and I being like really good friends before we lived together, and then I was also so traumatized from my junior year roommate that I was like, okay, I definitely need like to make sure that this friendship survives us living together.
Yeah.
So
Super fair.
yeah, but I thought it was helpful. We do like chore
Yeah.
rotation. I think we did like how we would split our rent, partners, food costs, utilities, like how we would split furniture, and then like where the furniture goes after we move out. Like we went through the whole thing.
This is a prenup.
It was a prenup. It really was.
Yes. I am such a huge advocate of prenups because I feel like when you are both in such like a loving state and you love each other, you should agree about things of the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
That way, like when you are in the worst case scenario, you're not worrying about what to do and everyone's getting very petty about stupid little things.
Yeah.
Wow.
The thesis of this is that roommates are just partners.
Yeah, and like learning to be a good roommate is like learning to be in a good relationship. Like you have to like communicate, you have to like
I think so. I think having roommates builds character.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a red flag if someone has never had a roommate?
I think it's like an orange flag. I don't think I'd be like, oh, like that's terrible. But I think I would be like, I need to see demonstration that you've like learned the skills that you would pick up having a roommate. Yeah. Or at least, okay, maybe if they're an only child and they've never had a roommate, that's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
But if they have a sibling and they've never had a roommate, orange.
Orange depends.
Orange. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about talking about this, like roommate communication styles? Like, how do you think you were as a roommate communicating, kind of like throughout like college and then now, and also just like I don't know, maybe like one of the worst experiences or bad experiences you've had, like for the roommate communicators. The types are passive-aggressive notes versus direct confrontation, group chats, lifesaver or drama incubator. The weirdest text you've gotten from a roommate.
I'm done. I think in college I was definitely not good at it. Cause I think like for a long time I was a very passive communicator. As in, I just didn't really do it. So I think when things bothered me, I would just be like, oh, maybe it's not actually a big deal. So I'm trying to think of like an example. Yeah, I think I would just like put up with stuff and like get salty personally.
Yeah.
But like it wouldn't like manifest in any way.
Yeah.
But I think like again living with Rochelle when I moved was a bit easier for me because I was already comfortable enough to like talk to her when something small bothered me. So that was nice, and I think like turned things around a little bit. But yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of just like not communicating very well.
It's hard because I think it goes back to like how close you are to them in a way.
Yeah.
Because I feel really awkward asking someone I don't know that well to like do some of these things. So then I'm like, oh, like, am I just like asking for like too much right now? But I generally agree. I think like honestly, I don't know if I ever really got over like. I think I've gotten better, but I don't think I was like a great roommate even till the end because I don't think I would communicate problems, and I don't think we really talked about stuff in a logistical way that I think like you have had with Rochelle. But it definitely got from like really fucking bad, obviously with the trash situation, to like I think at the end like my last roommate was like with Mighty, and I think like for the most part we did like pretty good. You know, there's like sometimes where I feel like a little bit like uncomfortable, and I think like bringing that up was like something that I've never really done before.
Because you always have to weigh like the costs and benefits of it.
Exactly. And it's like, am I just being like a little petty right now? Like, does this really matter? Like, am I really that bothered by this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I've learned? It does matter. Your feelings are valid.
Oh my god, did you see the reel I sent you today?
I don't think so.
It's like this like gay man, and he like he was like, oh, like how?
Oh no, I did see
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
So funny. But the consensus.
He was like, I studied psychology, and I didn't learn about the feeling of being seen in psychology class.
But all you gotta do to entrap a white man is say, Matthew, I see you.
Yeah.
I validate your feelings.
Real.
That's so funny. And then just want to be seen.
They really do. But you know, women also want to be. Everyone just wants to be seen.
Everyone just wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be the star of their own story.
I was talking to my friend recently about how women just want to be described.
Yes.
I was like, dude, you could tell them that their like soul color is orange or something, and they're like, oh my god, really?
How do you think that? Tell me more.
Yeah. I have this one senior consultant on my team, and she loves doing the prompt of like, okay, if you were a food, what would you be? Or like, okay, guys, let's go around.
Yeah.
This is always at team dinner. She's like, what dog would everyone be?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because the women are just like so happy having this conversation.
Wait, that's actually kind of good. I'm
Yeah.
like, now maybe I should make a hinge prompt over this. The key to my heart is to describe me.
Yeah. If I were a blank, what would I be?
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah. It's so cute. But yeah, I'm trying to think about what I got. Okay, they said that if I were a dog, I'd be a Bernese Mountain Dog.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No offense, I do not see you as that.
I know. I was like, wow.
Yeah, you're like so small. And a Bernese Mountain
like,
Dog is so big. I actually think the dog is actually bigger than you.
I know. Their answers really surprised me, which makes me wonder if I give off a drastically different persona at work,
Yeah,
which is probably true.
interesting.
Because they were also like, oh, if you were a food, you would be a steak. I was like, that is
No, you
not
would be
how I would
like
describe. I feel like I would be a
tofu.
dumpling. Yeah, or tofu.
Yeah.
So I was like, huh? So I was just like,
Interesting.
maybe I'm just really different at work.
I feel like maybe you're kind of more assertive than like you
Yeah,
actually are.
that's probably true.
And so that's why they think you're.
It is the more junior members describing me, so that's probably why.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I thought was very accurate was if I were a cocktail, they were
Yeah.
like, I would be a corpse reviver.
A what?
Like, a corpse reviver?
What the fuck is that?
It's a gin cocktail, gin-based
Oh.
cocktail. But I was like, I do enjoy that cocktail,
Yeah.
and it's very thematically correct. So I was like, I like that one.
I'm so surprised at Bernese Mountain because even just looking at your appearance, like that is not like what I would
know.
give. I would give you something like I don't know, like maybe a greyhound or like some like more
Like a
sleek
medium-sized dog.
Yeah, and more sleek.
Yeah.
Like a Bernese Mountain Dog, I think it was like a ruffled man that's like 6'5" and like
Yeah,
loves
like a
hiking.
mountain man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like a lumberjack.
I know. I don't know. Some of their things are so off. One of the
Yeah.
consultants described the intern, and she's like this like really thin Hapa girl, and she's just like super delicate looking. And he was like, I think you'd be a Doberman. And I was like, what?
That is so, no. Men suck at this.
That's so funny.
Interesting.
But yeah.
That was such a hot take.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before?
I forget. Sorry, I went off on a huge tangent.
Describing. What did men? Are we talking about what men like? Men want to be seen.
Men want to be seen. I was validating you for something.
Oh yes. Oh, me not being non-confrontational.
Ah!
Yes. Yeah. But I think again, it goes back to like, how much do you like trust them to like talk about this problem with them, and that they won't, I don't know, like react adversely to it.
Yeah, I think it takes a certain amount of trust to like bring up a problem and have trust that they're not going to blow it up into something versus just like, oh, okay, like I see your point.
Yeah.
And then like life goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. What's the weirdest text you've gotten from a roommate?
I feel like I've sent weird texts.
What have you
Or
said?
just like if I'm out and I'm like, can you send me a picture of my driver's license?
Oh, that's super fair.
I do miss that. Rochelle was great at doing that.
Good at finding.
I like miss having a roommate for that purpose.
just to find stuff around your apartment
Yeah.
for you. Ah. All right. Maybe we can go to the next topic, which is like
Okay.
best and worst things about having a roommate, or just stories.
Ooh. Okay.
The prompts are: the weirdest thing you've walked in on a roommate doing, a wholesome roommate moment you'll never forget, the one roommate you could live with forever, and a roommate horror story from a friend of a friend.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever walked in on roommates doing anything weird. I mean, I've walked in on my roommate getting high with her friends, but like, that's not that out of.
Yeah. Never walked in on anyone doing anything?
I actually haven't. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not walking in, but my roommate would like secretly call her, like, she would, not secretly, she would just call her boyfriend at night, and they would just like whisper to each other, and I'm just like, I know you guys are whispering, but it's not that quiet. I can hear entire conversation, and it's so fucking awkward. I'm like, I don't want to hear these things.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do wholesome roommate moments.
Mm-hmm.
The one that pops in mind first is when I first moved to New York, my bed frame hadn't arrived.
Mm-hmm.
So Rochelle and I just shared a bed for a while. That was kind of cute. And we
Aw,
just yapped
cute.
all night. Yeah, that was fun.
Just girly things.
Just girly things, for real.
Aw.
Yeah, and we go on like little roommate dates.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Oh my god, wait, no. It has to be our monthly goal setting session.
Oh, that was so cute.
I remember you were there for one of them because I got kicked out because Rochelle had COVID or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like staying at your apartment. And then we did a FaceTime monthly goal setting session.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I do miss that. That was fun.
That was very wholesome
Yeah.
and productive.
I know.
Do you still do them?
No. For some reason, that like doesn't hit the same.
Yeah.
It's like not as effective anymore. I think to set my goals month to month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Don't know what's changed, but
Interesting. Mine was probably like, I just remember my birthday. This was 2022, I guess. I remember Maya just got me flowers, and it was the first thing I woke up to. It was very
Aw,
sweet.
that is cute.
I was literally in bed. She took photos of me holding the flowers in my pajamas. I was like, what's happening?
Dude, I'd be so crusty.
Yeah, I was a little crusty, but it was a very cute moment and very like memorable to me now still.
That's cute.
Yeah, that was a great roommate. I probably was less so to her.
She seems very tolerant of our shenanigans.
She was, dude. The amount of shit I pulled in our apartment, I feel
Yeah.
so bad. Yeah. If Maya ever hears this, I apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like your roommate you could live with forever definitely has to be Rochelle then.
I think so. Although I would prefer to not have a roommate forever.
But if you had to.
If I had to, it'd probably
And it couldn't be your
Rochelle.
partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would yours be Maya?
I don't know. I think Maya is, and I. It's hard to say because I think I was in such a chaotic part of my life that I feel like I wasn't really a good roommate to her. And I don't know how we would have got along in a good state. I also just don't think I've ever had a roommate where, like, I've, like, consistently been able to, like, live with and, like, have, like, really good communication and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, shot in the dark, probably. Like, I don't think I have anyone else that I liked more living with.
Yeah.
And I was also mature enough to make. I feel like everyone else I lived with, I was like so young that I was
Yeah.
like, you can't really count that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Mighty. He was never there.
I know. This man was like only home like 30% of the time. I've lived with his other friends more than I lived with him, I think. Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A roommate horror story from a friend of a friend. Oh, one of my friends. Do you know Jessica?
I think did she go to Easy with us?
She went to Easy with you.
What?
Oh, no, different. Like, okay, I actually think Jessica Lee.
Lee, yeah.
her last name?
I think so.
Fuck no. Not my Jessica, not the one I went to college with.
Oh.
There's another Jessica that is in New York. She's a PMM at Google. I'm pretty sure she was in your easy group the first year before we met.
Oh.
That's why I thought you went. I was like, I forgot you guys know her that way. But maybe not. She's like really good friends with Umesh in that group.
But I didn't really go with Umesh. Well, like tangentially, I guess.
I just remember seeing her. Maybe I'm misremembering. I thought I saw her in your photo.
It's possible.
Your easy photo. But anyways, she has a roommate right now that like has been kind of like a horror. She just like doesn't really clean, brings in her like boyfriend all the time, and like just like uses things that's like the other roommates. I think they agreed to like just share stuff and whatnot, but like she'll like use up all like the wine glasses and just won't wash them. So then if Jessica wants to have wine, like she has to like wash all the wine glasses and put stuff in like the dishwasher and like clean up after herself in a timely manner.
Yeah.
And just like not really respectful of like group stuff, but yeah.
I feel like the only one that comes to mind is one of my friends also has a roommate that just like doesn't really do chores and is like not a contributing player in the household.
Yeah. Not pulling their weight.
Yeah. And I think that's a pretty common one.
Yeah. Not a roommate horror story, but kind of just a general horror story. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I forgot who told me this and if I've ever told you. But one of like my friend's friend was like on a date with like this guy, and they think they were like talking, and then it got to be like pretty like late at night, and so he like offered to walk her back home, and she was like, okay, yeah, sure. And I think they vibed like pretty well and stuff like that. And I think he like lived kind of far, so like getting home at that point in time would be really difficult for him. And so he kind of like insisted that like she, like, you know, that he like maybe like sleep over for that night and stuff like that. And I think she was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like she didn't want to like sleep with him, so she like asked him to like sleep on the couch and stuff like that. And he was like, okay. And then obviously like they just like go to bed and stuff. And then in the middle of the night, she hears pounding on her door.
Oh, I think Lily told me this story actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I could have sworn I heard it from Jessica or Connie.
Oh,
So this is probably like someone who's related to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. The consensus was basically like this man like had lined her living room with like plastic wrap, and he was just banging on her door. And eventually, like he left because like she was like, "I'm gonna call the police if you don't stop doing this and stuff." And she never opened the door. And thankfully, because like God knows what would have happened.
Yeah. Stay safe out there.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
All right, jump into advice corner.
Okay.
It's how to find a good roommate, setting around rules without sounding like a dictator, and red flags during roommate interviews.
How to find a good roommate? I actually don't know. I've never really had to search, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because my freshman year roommates were like randomly assigned.
Mm-hmm.
The one internship I had a roommate for, it was just us two who were going abroad for this, so like it made sense for us to live together. And then my junior year roommate, it was just because we were friends. Which, key tip, that's not a good reason to live together.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people like do that, thinking it'll be fun. But honestly, sometimes I lean towards I actually rather live with someone I'm not that close with, because if it does ruin the relationship, I don't really.
Yeah,
care.
there's like no consequence to it.
Yeah.
That's why I remember when like Rochelle first brought up living together in New York, I was like very hesitant about it because I was a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was also worried because when we grew up, homegirl was so messy. Like,
really?
I remember when we would go on debate competitions a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hang out at her house all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I came over, and it had been a couple months since her last debate competition, and her suitcase was still, was in a bunk bed because her sister had already moved out. She was sleeping on the top bunk, and the bottom bunk was just her open suitcase.
Oh, no. On the bed?
And I was like, that's why she was like, oh, we should live together. I was like,
And then she was like, wait, I promise I'm actually so clean now. And I was like, but she did change.
That's good.
Yeah, but I was so scared, dude. I was like,
yeah, that's so like, I don't know, like you don't know.
yeah. But yeah, I think
Suitcase on the bed is crazy though.
I know.
That's
To be fair, it was a bed that she did not sleep on.
still, but like
But-
suitcase.
Yeah.
Suitcase on floor.
Suitcase on floor. Suitcase cleaned and then on floor.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I do skip this though.
Same.
It's a lot of effort.
I know. To clean all the wheels.
I know.
This is why I don't know if I can have a pet, because then I'm just like, fuck, I have to wipe its paws every time it comes into the goddamn
Yeah.
house.
Get them little booties.
Yeah. Or like just teach them.
Yeah.
Teach dogs to like
yeah.
wipe their own feet.
It's so cute.
Yeah. I think like what you did was really good of just like talking about like what are the rules like up front and like putting them down on paper, because I think people also kind of just like forget too, or like
Yeah.
it slips their mind.
Yeah. I agree. I think I stand by the roommate contract.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it helps just like make sure you think of everything, because there's templates online too.
Mm-hmm.
So then like there's stuff that you're not even going to be thinking about that you're like, oh, this is something that like comes up when I have a roommate.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was helpful too, because like when Rochelle and I re-signed, we like went over the roommate contract again and then like edited it, because like some stuff was not relevant anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's good.
I support
Yeah.
I support prenup.
Prenups are great.
Roommate prenup.
Roommate prenups. I think like finding someone just agreeable is like important.
Yeah.
Like just like someone who like looks like they would be open to working on stuff with you. You know, a lot of this sound like what if I had a good partner?
I know. It's like find someone reasonable
Yeah.
who'd be willing to take feedback.
Yeah, and work on themselves. You know, care about you enough to like, you know, want to work on these things with you.
6 foot tall.
But yeah, treat finding a roommate like finding a partner, and don't
I
lower
think
your
so.
standards. You know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like sometimes finding a roommate, like I've seen people where they're in such a time crunch to find one. It's hard to like have high standards. So
Like dating too.
oh my god, this is all one big metaphor.
Yeah. No, that's fair, and I think to your point, a lot of it is like circumstantial. Like for me, half of my like Maya was just like we were two people looking for a roommate
Yeah.
around the same time.
Yeah.
Mighty was also circumstantial, looking for a roommate at the same
Trust
time.
mutuals.
Yeah.
Like I think if someone's gonna be a friend of a friend at least, then like you can at least trust that that's gonna be better than a
Yeah.
stranger.
Well, not always true. One of my friend Claire's has a roommate that's a friend of a friend. Apparently, she's been pretty horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I do have a roommate horror story from a friend where oh my god, I don't even remember her name. So Joanna is Rochelle's friend. And then Joanna had a friend whose name is I'm forgetting, that like Rochelle really hated for like other reasons, but she
Yeah.
was also a terrible roommate. And apparently one time Joanna, you know how like the charging port on an electric toothbrush, like that can get kind of crusty sometimes.
Yeah.
So Joanna had like cleaned her charging port, and they had like the same electric toothbrush. And so her roommate just switched theirs.
Wow.
She took the clean one.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's so petty. Oh my god.
I would have been like, holy shit.
Yeah, like why?
Just clean your own.
Literally,
It
just
takes
wash
the-
with water. It's
I
not even
know.
that difficult.
I know. Anyways,
Wow,
crazy times.
crazy. That's such a petty move.
I know.
Like, not even like it's a big deal. It's just like so petty. Like, why? Yeah. The key, just communicate.
Yeah, I think that really is it.
Yeah.
What do you think is the pettiest that you've been as a roommate?
Oh, definitely the trash thing.
Oh, fair.
That was very petty of me. Although I was petty of everyone in that fucking whole house.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think that's petty. That's just kind of like justified.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I have been petty, but honestly, my memory's not that good.
Okay, I feel like my petty moment that comes to mind is because I used to live so close to campus. I would always move in first so that I could get first pick on the room. which, you know, is not great.
Yeah.
But
That's not petty. That's just being smart.
it's a little unfair, but you
It is
know.
a little unfair. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be kind of bad. I remember when we were moving into like our LIC apartment.
Yeah.
I think like basically how Maya wanted to split rent was like based on square footage.
Sure.
And then I think that ended up being like pretty expensive for me. And so I kind of like reverse Uno card her. I was like, oh, do you want to take the master? I was like, oh, at that price, like I think, I don't know if I want the master anymore. Like, would you be okay with it? And then we just ended up going to a more agreeable rent for me.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Well, I felt a little bad about that. It was like pretty favorable. I ended up paying like extra like $100 a month for the master.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I felt really bad.
I'm trying to think. So the way Rochelle and I split rent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so what we did. This was her idea, by the way, not my idea. I can't take credit for it, but very econ of her. We both like blind put our maximum of how much we were willing to spend on each of the rooms. Because this was before we had even signed it, and we had to submit like our bid. So we took the maximum of like each of what we were willing to spend on the rooms and submitted that as our bid, and that was also our final rent. So it's like, oh, I was willing to spend like X amount on the master and like this amount on the smaller bedroom. And it worked out that she was willing to spend more on the smaller bedroom than I was willing to spend, but less on the master bedroom than I was willing to spend. Yeah. So,
Nice.
problem solving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Closing. Rapid fire. Favorite thing about having a roommate?
Ooh. A constant companionship.
Yeah. Someone to debrief your day about.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. I kind of miss that. Because it's like, I feel like to talk about like daily things, like what did you do today, and like petty stuff at work. Like, you text friends here and there, but no one gets a comprehensive story like a roommate does.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah. Least favorite thing about having a roommate?
Having to deal with somebody else.
Yeah. I think just having to think about like someone else is just annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
I think also, like, I'm so, you know how OCD I am. And, like, I like things in a certain place. And when they are no longer in that place, it, like, bothers me.
Oh, yes, I agree.
And that is definitely something I know that I'm personally being unreasonable about. And I would not ask of somebody else. But, like, so then I'm just like, oh, yeah.
No, I agree. But then when people put, like, so I have people still in my place sometimes, and if they put it in the wrong place, I have to rearrange everything again.
Yeah.
Even though hypothetically it works out this way, and it does not matter which drawer is it in, but I'm like, no.
It's not the same.
My spatulas have to go into this slot specifically.
Yeah.
Okay? The peeler has to go into this drawer specifically.
Yeah. Especially, like, your little random utensil drawer.
Yeah.
Like, some random utensils go in a different drawer.
Yes, yes.
And there's a system to
yes, yes. The eroticism. Truly.
So.
No, I get it. I get it. There's an order to the chaos. It looks
There
like chaos,
is.
but it's not just pure chaos.
Yeah, but I know where everything is.
Exactly. Once you mess with my chaos, I don't know where things are anymore.
Then it's truly chaotic, and we
Yes.
can't be having that.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I like just not wearing clothes sometimes.
Oh, yeah, same.
Dude, having to put on clothes all the time having roommates so annoying.
Yeah. To be fair, I feel like Rochelle and I had our fair share of walking around in our underwear, but, like, you know.
Like bra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Sometimes
fair.
when you get home after a workout, you just want to strip right when you come back.
Yeah.
So.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, returning to our previous conversation. If you were a dog.
Oh, what dog would I be?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like you would be a white dog.
Oh, interesting. Like a what's the name? Jira? Akita. Jiro? Fuck. I think it's called Akita.
Akita is like the big Shiba Inu.
No, it's like white, isn't it? Fuck, what's the white one then? Oh, no, not Akita. I think I'm thinking with Jito.
I feel like you'd be a poodle.
A poodle? Interesting. Why?
I
was just thinking of a white dog that's like mid-sized.
Not a. Dude, would you?
Because you're definitely not a Maltese.
Yeah, I was gonna say the basic Asian.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, you're definitely not a Maltese. But I feel like a
Jindo.
Samoyed is too big for you. Oh, okay. Wait, I can kind of see that. Although I don't know, it's a little too like
Manly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're so cute. He looks like he's posing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like I feel like you would be Labrador sized.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Maybe just a.
A white Labrador.
Yeah.
That's so basic though. We can't be having that. Oh my god. Can you imagine somebody described you as a bulldog? That would be really offensive.
I would be really offended too. Are they calling me stupid?
Also, are they calling me ugly?
Yeah. Well, it's like ugly cute.
Do you know any people who are so ugly that they're cute? You don't have to give a name.
I could think of a face.
Damn!
I think it's not like they're ugly, but they're just not that good looking. But their face is kind of cute when they like smile or something.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking pug.
Oh, yes, pug.
Wait, what does a bulldog look like again?
They look kind of similar, right? They both have squished faces.
No, bulldog. Okay.
Okay, no, they both have squished faces.
They do, but a pug is so fucking cute.
No, they're all ugly. If you were food,
What food would I be?
a Danish.
A Danish. It would be bread. A croissant.
A croissant with some
croissant.
jam.
With some jam.
A strawberry Danish.
I feel like I have to be something more like Asian. It's too white.
But you love French people.
I do love French people.
Would you ever date a Frenchman?
I don't know. I think the problem with the French man is sometimes they're so negative Nancy.
True.
Yeah, it's very French culture. The Frenchmen I dated, they were both very like, you know.
This is not a croissant.
Yeah. Ugh, New York is so dirty.
That was so bad.
So bad at accents.
Okay, I feel like
They also confuse me between like I feel like all my accents just blend together and I just have some one
Universal
racist,
accent.
no questions. I don't even know what accent it is, but it's just accented. Yeah. But yeah, they would complain a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't love that. But I do love it.
If you were an Asian food, bulgogi.
Bulgogi.
I feel like you have to be Korean.
Really? Jajangmyeon.
See that?
Maybe champong. I feel like
I don't know what that is.
it's like seafood soup with like.
Okay, my knowledge of Korean foods is so white.
Yeah. When you said bulgogi, I was like, that's a basic ass choice.
Can I have a bibimbap? Yeah.
I feel like you'd be like agadeshi tofu.
Oh my god. You know that we taught one of the partners Gen Alpha slang?
Like skibbity.
Yeah. And now he's been using it.
Stop.
And it's really uncomfortable. You know, he was eating a salad and he was like, this salad is so skibbity toilet. And I was like, Eric, please shut up.
Stop.
And then one of the consultants taught him the word unk. So now he keeps calling himself an unk.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's so cringe.
It is cringe.
I know. So it reminds me when I taught my manager mid, and he kept using it every time, and I'm like, Nico, you gotta stop. He's like, this presentation's so mid. And I'm like, Nico. Yeah, it's rough. I know. And they get so excited when they use it. They're like looking for a reaction.
You're like,
from me.
hey,